What it do, what it do. We back again with another one. I just wanted to make this quick little video on why I feel California is burning right now. Let's get right into it. Well, personally, I think I've seen a few videos drop lately. These videos have been around for a while, but you know when certain things is going on, they tend to resurface. People start to repost them and stuff like that. About the new fire chief in California. This lady was Christine Crowell. This lady here, if you can see her. And this lady here is the Equity Bureau chief. And this lady here, Christine Kemper, first lesbian assistant chief. Basically, they're all bull dykers. They're all lesbians because of diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is just my opinion. I don't think none of these women here are qualified for this job because this firefighter, at once upon a time, it used to be called firemen. It's a predominantly male job. Most women don't volunteer, or most women don't want to run into a burning building to save somebody. That's not something that they would be their first option for a job. And look, as you can see, look at their salaries. $339,000 for this lady right here. $264,000 for this lady right here. And for the first black lesbian Equity Bureau chief, $399,000 a year. These numbers are outrageous. But I just wanted to show you guys a couple of videos here about what the new California chief, what her main priority is in California. Let's get into it.
I'm super inspired.
She took time out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future, one that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity.
People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I said, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough.
Out of 3,300 city firefighters, only 115 are women right now. She's already looking at ways to change that. She's quick to point out that doing so has a greater purpose, attracting the best and brightest for the job.
They feel included, they feel valued, and they feel part of a cohesive team.
The chief also checks another box when it comes to inclusivity and diversity at this department. She's a proud member of the LGBTQ community.
That just kind of opens the door of people that thought, wow, I didn't even know that that was an opportunity for me.
The reason why there's only a little over 100 female firefighters, like I said, it's not a predominantly female job. Most women are not lining up clamoring to be firefighters or firemen. You got to preference that because that's what it used to be called, but now everything got to be inclusive, when realistically I don't think it should be. I think the best person or best man for the job should get the job. The person who's qualified should get the job, whether they're black, green, purple. They could be an avatar. They should get the job. That's my personal preference. This is another video here of this came out after she got elected as fire chief. I think it was 2022. A few months later, this is what they implemented in California. Let's get into it.
Every day, the LAFD is called upon to respond to crises, and today it is taking a step to resolve one of its own. The department's first ever Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Bureau will launch in January, 1 year since its first ever female fire chief, Kristen Crowley, was appointed.
So by creating this new bureau, our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Bureau, now we actually have the staff to do the work when it comes to doing a deep dive in regard to how we do business, how we take care of one another in the fire stations and in our work environment.
For me, when I hear DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion for any job or any company that's implementing it, I automatically think they're about to hire. It's about to be a mass hiring of people that's not qualified for the position. And most of the times, that's usually what happens. And a whole bunch of problems arises once they start implementing these procedures, because it's not what should be your main focus or something that you should be practicing. You hire the best qualified person for the job. It don't matter what race they are, what gender they are. If this woman is genuinely the best person for this job, hire her. But we know women are not going to be the best person for the position when it comes to being a firefighter. Because being a firefighter, you have to be capable of carrying over 200 pounds, like putting it on your back and carrying it out of a, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, when fires break out and you run into these burning buildings or whatever the case may be, there could be people of all sizes. The average person is about 200 plus. Can the average woman carry 200 pounds on her back out of a burning building? Because most of the time, the reason why people be unconscious or knocked out or in the building where you got to carry them out because of smoke inhalation, it's not necessarily the fire. Most people die from the smoke. If you didn't know that, to be honest, most people don't die because of they got burned by the fire. Most of the times they're dead way before the fire even gets to them because of all the smoke. And a woman, the average woman, most women on planet Earth, even a woman that goes to the gym consistently, won't be able to carry 200 pounds out of a burning building. And even if she possibly can, that's not going to be a job that she's going to be choosing. I think there's certain jobs women thrive in and certain jobs men thrive in. I think all law enforcement jobs should be men only. That's just my opinion. I see some of these police officers out here that's women. If you have to arrest a man, how are you gonna physically take him down and it's like, could you really do that to handle a man on your own, or just you and your partner, two women? Like, even my girlfriend, she's a police officer, she's like 5 feet tall. Like, if I was a criminal and my girlfriend had to stop me from doing something, like, she couldn't do, there's nothing she could possibly do without shooting me. And even then, I'll take the gun away from her and she won't be, you know what I'm saying? I'll grab her. How are you going to get me off of you? How are you going to stop me? A few years ago was this video, this guy in the train station, they got him on the ground. It's a male and a female police officer. The dude is holding him down, trying to cuff him. He's on his back. The woman is trying to get control of his legs. He's kicking and frailing. He kicks her down into the train tracks. You see what I'm saying? It's like, they're not, certain jobs, I don't think they should be at the forefront of it. I think men, predominantly the majority, at least a 90%, should be men. They should have a couple women in there to deal with certain situations, but I think it should be predominantly men. Firefighter, I think it should be all men. I don't think there should be no women firefighters or firemen, because this is not a job that we need to be diverse and equity and inclusive. No, the best person get the job, whether they black or white. But females, I think they should stay away from that. Call it whatever you want to call it, sexist, misogynist, whatever. I'm just being realistic. The average woman cannot perform her duties when it comes to being a firefighter. And a few years ago, during the COVID time, they fired about over 100 firefighters because they wouldn't take the vaccine. Let's get into this video.
113 LA City firefighters have been suspended without pay for defying the city's vaccine mandate. In November, firefighters who had not submitted their vaccination status or requested an exemption were informed they would face suspension and termination.
I personally think they should have took the vaccine, because all vaccines work 100% of the time. Leave me alone. But this is what happens. So they got rid of, and I think a few months ago they reduced the budget for the firefighters by like $18 million or something like that. So the budget was low. They have no money. They got rid of a lot of firefighters because they didn't take the vaccine. Now a fire breaks out, they don't know what to do. And then on top of that, on top of all this that's going on, the fact that the budget is low, there's not enough firefighters to thing the fire. And I heard the that their containment, in terms of the level of containment they have with the fire, I don't know if it's gotten better since the last time I've seen it, but it was like at 0%. They have 0% contained the fire, and they have no water in California. And this is the reason why they have no water in California. Check this video out.
These dams are coming down, and it's about damn time.
Governor Kate Brown, Governor Gavin Newsom, U.S. Secretary of Interior Deb Haaland, and tribal leaders all coming together to celebrate the world's largest dam removal along the Klamath River Thursday. The groups meeting at Iron Gate Fish Hatchery in Hornbrook. Last month, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission issued the final approval of the historic plan to remove 4 dams on the Klamath River in California and Oregon.
They've removed the dams from California because they want to save some fishes or something. So they diverted all the water to the ocean. So now there's no water in the fire hydrants. There's no water anywhere for them to even put the fire out. I'm honestly starting to believe that these politicians, especially in these Democratic states, these blue states, they are intentionally trying to kill people. Before, I just thought it was negligence, low IQ, stupidity. At this point, I'm genuinely feeling that they're genuinely trying to kill people on purpose. Because nobody could have such lack of foresight in terms of why would you get rid of the dams? You know, California, I've known for years, has always had droughts. Always had droughts. You're gonna get rid of the dam for what? What purpose? What are the dams? What are they doing? How are they hindering you from being able to go about your day-to-day life? They're not. So now you get rid of the dams. There is no water to fight these fires that I honestly believe that it's not natural. I think people are setting these fires. That's just me. And I seen a picture of somebody getting arrested on Twitter, a possible suspect of somebody that was setting fire. And I'm seeing a bunch of videos too on Twitter where people throwing gasoline out on the side of the road and there's a fire not too far, so they like trying to help the fire continue. People are sick in their mind, bro. These Democratic states, they are a cesspool and they are going to the ground. And then on top of that, the mayor, she is like this big, for years, like this big advocate for Africa. Like her whole agenda is trying to make Africa better and supporting Africa and what could we do to make Africa a better place. This is the mayor of the city. She's the mayor of California, but yet she's always worried about Africa. Check this video out.
To say that our reason for coming as the contingent of the Congressional Black Caucus is really part of many commemorations taking place in the United States this year, commemorating the 400th anniversary for the arrival of Africans on the U.S. continent. I was involved in the 70s and 80s in the whole anti-apartheid struggle. Our history on the continent has not always been a great history. And so I think that there's things that we need to rectify, but at the same time, I would never want to tip it in the other direction and say that there's too many problems in Africa or Africa should be able to sustain itself, so let's cut off U.S. funding. There also might be other ways that our country can support the African Union so that they can put some teeth behind that when that type of statement is made. I mean, for example, when the coup in Mali happened and there was the need for troops to come in, you know, the Malians had to call in the French. The African Union wasn't quite ready to intervene, and they certainly did come along, but I think there's a variety of ways that the United States can help to shore up the infrastructure and capacity of the African Union.
As you can see, she's very well versed and knowledgeable on Africa and its problems and what's going on and the help that they need, and that's fine. But you are the mayor of California. Why is your main focus on how to make Africa thrive as a nation and make it better and the support that they need? And would you guess where the mayor of California was during the time these fires broke out? Check this video out. Oh, wrong video.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you
This
regret
is the
cutting the fire
mayor returning from Africa.
department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today?
Can you back up, Boss? Appreciate it.
Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster? No apology for them? Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home?
As you can see, no response. And this is a news outlet, Sky News, I think, based out of the United Kingdom. And he seems to care more about California than the mayor, which is crazy. It's just so interesting. She has nothing to say, no response. And after she had time to prepare her little speech that somebody else wrote for her, this is what the first thing she said. Check this video out.
Build stronger than ever. Right now, if you need help, emergency information, resources, and shelter is available. All of this can be found at URL. Los Angeles, together is how we will get through this. Through the heroism of our firefighters.
Another DEI hire. This is what happens. This woman says you can find information at URL. URL is not the website. Oh my goodness gracious. This is the leadership. And this is not just happening in California. All these Democratic, woke, leftist states, this is what's going on. This is the leadership. New York City's no better. It's the same thing that's going on in New York. Terrible leadership. Just terrible. These people are horrible at their jobs. It's almost like it's a South Park episode or something that you would put in a late night talk show. Or it seems like a skit. It doesn't seem real. This is their leadership in California. This woman is in Africa supporting some person who got elected. Meanwhile, your city is burning to the ground. And this is a commercial that they dropped for California. The new the DEI, this lady here, this lady, Christine Larson, the Equity Bureau chief. This is a commercial they dropped to let you know how they feel and what their mission and their goal is for California. Check this video out.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
Did you hear what that woman just said? This woman said he got himself in the wrong. She's basically blaming the victim for being a victim. He got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire. And only about 5% of working firefighters are women. Why is that? Why is that even a thing? Why is it your mission and your goal to get more women firefighters? To make the job less productive? This is what happens when you elect these people and put these people who don't belong in these positions of power. The governor is no better over there. Newsom, he's another cackling buffoon. He's another horrible governor over there. This is what happens when you put these people in positions of power. This woman, this is what they're worried about. Hiring more women to make the job less efficient because women will not be as a good of a firefighter as a man. It's just a fact. I don't care what nobody says. You can say whatever you want. But men just can do anything a man can do. No, you can't. There's things men do at a way better, more efficient rate than a woman any day. The stuff one man could do, it'll take 2 women to do. You know what I'm saying? You are worried about somebody looking like you when they're coming to save your life. Let me tell you something. Nobody ever in the history of a fire happening, if a fire breaks out in anybody's house across the nation, let me tell you one thing they won't be thinking. I hope that the person that comes to save me looks like me. If I'm a black man and a fire breaks out of my house right now, you think I'm thinking, I hope a black man kicks in the door and save me? Because if a white man comes in here, I'm going to tell him, just leave me alone. I'm coughing, smoke inhalation all over the place. You think I'm thinking I want somebody to look like me who's coming to save my life? That's not, nobody thinks about that. All you're thinking and hoping for is that somebody, anybody, comes to save you. It could be a fucking Avenger. It could be a fucking Na'vi from the Avatar. It could be Sully. He could kick in the door. And I don't care who it is. You just want to be saved. You're not thinking about, oh, hopefully it's a lesbian bull dyker with a large back comes here to save me. And then when she gets here, she's going to be like, oh my God, how did you get yourself in this position? Now I got to try to carry out it, even though I know I'm not physically capable of doing it. For this lady to say, let's run it back one more time, because I don't think you heard her. I don't think you heard what she said. Let's listen to that one more time.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call.
Nobody cares about that.
It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or
anybody could understand your situation when it's a fire. You don't need a woman. A woman is not going to understand your situation any better than a man would, or a black man would, or an Asian man would. You are caught in a fire. You need rescuing. You're not thinking about, cause what are you talking about? They could understand your situation better. If you can't comprehend or process the information that's right in front of your face that I need saving and I'm caught in a fire, you are a fool and you don't need to have this job.
My husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
You know what's funny? If it was a woman, if a woman said, oh, can you carry my lesbian girlfriend out of this fire? I promise you she would have never said that. Oh, she got herself in the wrong place if I got to carry her out of a fire. And you know what's funny about this? This wasn't like somebody, you was just some off the cuff, somebody asked you a question, you just responded without even really processing the information. No, this is a commercial that they made to advertise their goal and what their mission is. So you know they had to practice this, prep it. So somebody recorded this, listen to her say that. Oh, so man, how he got himself in that position? Why I gotta carry him out of a fire, even though you're a firefighter? And said, yep, that's good. Edited it up, and we're gonna send it out there. Good job. That is insane. This is the leadership that's going on in California. 3 women, lesbian women too. Of course, they got to be lesbian. They can't just be women. 3 lesbian big back bull dykers is the head of all fire. Once a fire break out, they are the leaders and they dictate and decide what's going on and who goes where and what's happening in California. And you wonder why this fire is not contained. It will never be contained. This fire will literally have to stop on its own because they're not going to be able to put it out. There's no water. They have no water. You can't put a fire out without water. This is the leadership in California. Who elected these women? They all lesbians. What are the chances of that? And they all named Christine. Christine. What are the chances of that? And they all LGBT bull dykers. First LGBT fire chief. Why does that matter? First lesbian assistant chief. Why does that matter? First black. We got to get a black one in there. First black lesbian equity bureau chief. What is that? What is this job that you get $400,000 a year for? What is a black equity? What is an equity bureau chief? What do you do? What is your job? To oversee if there's enough diversity and DEI taking place in the fire department? Is that what we're worried about? Meanwhile, California is burning to the ground. It's a hellscape. And you know what they're focused on? DEI, hiring more lesbians. That's what's important. No, not that people are losing their homes and everything's burning to the ground. No. We need more lesbians. Because if anybody knows anything, lesbians are way better at putting out fires than a heterosexual man. Yeah, they're way better. Way better. There's a reason why there's only 5% of firefighters. Firemen, I keep saying firemen are women. You know why? Because women inherently don't want to put out fires. Women don't gravitate towards these dangerous jobs. It's just not something that they do. Is a reason why. There's a reason why women aren't coal miners. Is a reason why women don't work on oil rigs. It's not because of sexism. It's because it's an incredibly dangerous job and women inherently don't want to do it. That's why men do it. They have to go out their way to force women into these positions, and they're not going to last. They're not going to stick around, because once they stick around, they realize they got to carry 100 pounds worth of equipment, plus all the gear that they got, plus the hot and sweaty clothes they got to put on to protect them from the fire, then climb up a ladder to drag a 200-pound body, put it on their back, and climb out while smoke is everywhere, burning, the building is burning down, debris falling all around you. You think a woman is going to be like, that's what I want to do for a living? It's like, come on, use your IQ. This is my reasons why I think California is burning, and it's a cesspool just like New York City, because of this DEI woke nonsense that all these blue cities and democratic cities are involved in. And it's going to keep happening until we wake up and realize this is not the thing we should be focusing on. But that's just my opinion. What do I know? You know what I'm saying? I didn't even graduate out of college. But that's the end of the video. Comment, like, subscribe, and you know I'll be back to you with another one.